I'm Nate Spack, and today I'll be discussing Chapter 11, Segment 2 of the psychology textbook. So, establishing test validity is difficult, and validity is the extent to which a test measures the trait which it is intended to measure. Now, there's three ways that psychologists measure validity. There's convergent validity, which is the extent to which several different tests intended to measure the same psychological trait give comparable results. There's content validity, which is the ability of a test to measure all the various facets of the psychological trait in question. And there's criterion-related validity, the extent to which the scores on a psychological test predict someone's real-life performance based on some standard. Now, what do IQ scores predict exactly? So IQ tests seem to measure a psychological trait that matters in everyday life. Higher IQ scores seem to correlate with a larger frontal cortex. However, brain function and structure only account for around 10 to 16% of variability in IQ scores. There's also strong evidence that people with higher IQ scores live longer and healthier lives, but it's hard to detect toxins which could result in lower IQs. IQ tests are very good at predicting school performance. However, it is difficult to eliminate the possibility that reporting a high IQ score causes a person to get better grades and jobs. Now, people with higher IQs also tend to have higher incomes. There's even some evidence that IQ scores predict the incomes of people within the same profession. Those with higher IQ scores also tend to have lower reproductive success and have less children as a result. People with very low IQ scores also tend to be less happy, but also tend to have more health problems. So it's unknown whether these individuals are less happy because of their low IQs or because of the health problems that accompany these lower IQs. Overall, however, IQ does not correlate with happiness, despite those with higher IQs achieving more within their lives. Now, is there any such thing as generalized intelligence? Now, Charles Spearman found that people who performed well in verbal tasks tended to do well in math too. So he came up with the idea of generalized intelligence, also known as G factor, or simply G, which is a general ability that reflects an overall mental ability. Now, G is made up of two kinds of intelligence, fluid intelligence and crystallized intelligence. Fluid intelligence is the capacity to reason logically and solve new problems independent of what you know already. On the other hand, crystallized intelligence is the knowledge a person has acquired and the ability to use it appropriately. Now, there's a correlation between IQ scores and reaction time. And reaction time is the amount of time it takes a subject to initiate some action after a predetermined signal. I am Nate Spack, and that's my presentation.